Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to Madam Hazrin and my fellow friends. So today, me, Aisyah Afiqah binti Ibrahim, and Puan Nur Ani Syairah, the headmaster of SK Taman Tun Dr. Ismail 1. And here we also have Miss Aini Wahida, the head panel of English Language uh, Society in SK Taman Sepadan. Welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Aisyah.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So today, our discussion for today will consist of 2 rounds. So in the first round, we will be discussing the challenges in teacher leadership and professional development, which will be based on interview data conducted in the leadership task. And for the second round, we will be focusing on the issues in curriculum implementation. So now, let's begin with our first round. So for our first question is, what are the challenges faced by school leaders in improving teachers' professional development? So I will first elaborate my point. So as for me, one of the challenges that I have found based from the interview data is the principals are facing difficulties in increasing teacher professionalism in terms of instilling their lifelong learning commitment and also the lifelong learning spirit among teachers. According to Hong Yan and Shao 2021, learning should happen throughout a lifetime. So it is an ongoing process. And it should be in terms of individual and professional growth. So by having the lifelong learning spirit, teacher will strive to always improve themselves, improve in terms of knowledge, content, instructional strategies in the classroom. However, as years pass, we could actually notice that, especially the elder teachers, they are getting more comfortable in their zones, and they have already ceased from improving themselves. They are become more comfortable of using the traditional teaching methods like grammar drilling, and are not becoming more explorative and experimenting new strategies. And so this ceased from creating a fun and interactive learning experience for the students. And therefore, this is why, without the lifelong learning spirit, principals are having the challenges to maintaining the teacher's commitment towards students, in which it is because it is an essential catalyst in encouraging teachers to constantly seek new strategies that provide better learning experience for learners. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, failure for teachers to improve their professionalism in terms of pedagogy, content, and a knowledge of the current trends may rob the children of the right of an effective learning experience. So that is from my point of view. So let's move on to our second panel, Puan Nur Ani Syairah. So what are the challenges in terms of leadership and in terms of professional development of teachers?
All right. So thank you to Ms. Aisyah. So in my opinion, one of the challenges in school leaders commonly face to enhance the teacher leadership and also professional development in curriculum is about technology integration. So in the educational transformation phase of the second wave, 2016 to 2020, in the Malaysian Education Development Plan, between 2013 to 2035, the government strives to invest in technology facilities and also integrating ICT or technology in the teaching and learning process, which is stated by KPM, which is our Ministry of Education 2013. However, based on some available literature in Malaysian contexts, a report by Malaysia's Ministry of Education claimed that approximately 80% of Malaysian teachers spend less than 1 hour per week to integrate ICT in their teaching. And this is similarly reported by UNESCO in one study that reports that teachers in ICT integration in Malaysia, school has not gone much further than the use of word processing application as an instructional tool in the teaching. So this situation happens due to some challenges that school leaders might commonly face to integrate ICT, including the lack of funding. So there is like one study, according to Ramani and also Arumugam 2018, where the headmaster or the school leaders should ensure. Okay, we have some technical problems. Okay. Should ensure that infrastructure regarding the ICT at the school should be provided to enhance the development and implementation of the teaching and learning process itself. However, many school leaders may not secure funding to integrate ICT because for various reasons. Okay, relevant infrastructure such as providing high-speed internet, adequate technical support, and also maintenance of the integration itself are very essential. But without the funding, it will not go anywhere. So, school with insufficient seamless technology integration would be face a lot of struggles. If we want to compare with schools with a lot of funding and they secure their funds to get the adequate and quality technology to be integrated in the teaching and learning process. Schools' budgets are often limited and allocated for various areas in the school, such as about the other maintenance of the building at school, curriculum development, and other essential expenses. So there may be a little to no room to school leaders to allocate those fundings to the ICT integration. So acquiring and maintaining technology infrastructure, devices, software license, and training staff can be expensive. So failure to plan to have a really good and adequate funding itself can deter teachers from integrating technology and can result in outdated technology at school, which does not support the modern learning needs. So due to this funding constraint, it's also may allow school leaders to face another challenge, which is not provide enough training programs for the teachers. So without enough training programs that enhance, that meet the needs of the teachers itself, because Malaysian teachers are also coming from diverse needs, diverse teaching style. So if these training programs are not addressing the teachers' need, and it will allow the teachers to not integrate the ICT effectively, and they do not receive adequate awareness. So this lack of awareness can impact on the teaching practices, such as like the teachers may prefer to do more traditional methods instead of integrating ICT in the school. So therefore, it is clear that it is really essential for the school leaders to provide funding and also training to the teachers, so that they can invest on ongoing professional development in the teaching and learning process. So that's all for my point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's indeed a relevant point in which funds are one of the main crises in that is stopping principals from sending teachers to the trainings. And when the teachers may not know how to use some applications or technologies, so they will prefer to use the traditional learning method indeed. Okay, let's move on to our second panel. So Miss Aini Wahida, so again, what are the challenges in terms of teacher leadership in professional development, please?
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Aisyah. I am now going to elaborate on my point based on the challenge. Okay, so basically the Malaysian education system underwent a major transformation with the introduction of the curriculum standard Sekolah Rendah KSSR for primary schools and the curriculum standard Sekolah Menengah KSSM for secondary schools. So these curricula aim to provide a more holistic and student-centered approach to education, which became a constructive challenge for teacher leadership and professional development. Okay, so the next challenge of teacher leadership and professional development in curriculum is teacher workload. According to ZIP Unit 2020, teacher workload includes providing feedback on writing about how well the teacher understands how pupils are progressing in their learning and how they are planning the next class or the next lessons. Okay, so second workload includes curriculum planning, okay, such as taking into account implementing a plan and resources. Moving on to the third workload, which is data management and teaching and learning interventions for students. For example, we have self-reflection and review of data collection, in which it includes reflecting on what the purpose of teaching and learning is, what the most effective and proportionate teaching and learning processes are. Okay, and also how the teacher can make sure that the data collected are valid and reliable in terms of teaching and learning. Okay, fourth, communication. Okay, for example, like considering all of the messages during the work day and evaluating whether or not they are having an impact on the supporting data using a range of communication channels with the children and their parents, fellow teachers, and school administration. Okay, so last but not least, we have managing, placing into practice, and communicating changes. Okay, for instance, making sure that there is enough time at the beginning, of class. Okay, making sure that working together on proposals with students, their parents, fellow teachers, and including all of the components in evaluating their performance, in which it develops a shared understanding of the change process with the school community. So teachers must cater to these 4 categories of workload every time the curriculum is revamped. Okay, so the stakeholders should actually consider collaborative learning, online and blended learning, and also coaching and mentoring. Okay, so collaborative learning promotes teachers to allow them to share responsibilities and insights, and it could also establish like professional learning communities or study groups. So there is a study by Houghton in 2020, the study of truth and reconciliation through inquiry-based collaborative learning states that co-teaching is a beneficial experience for instructors, professional development, and the advantages could be passed on to students who will be able to study with the teachers. Last but not least, coaching and mentoring. So this particular initiative, coaching and mentoring, could be carried out by pairing experienced teachers with newer ones in order to provide guidance and support, as well as encourage a culture of mentorship. Okay. So online and blended learning could assist teachers to utilize online platforms and blended learning models to provide flexibility for teachers. According to another study made by Lockheed, in the study of shifting context, we're considering teacher professional development for online and blended learning in the COVID-19 era, states that online instruction has a significant effect on instructor motivation and feelings. Hence, teachers can engage in professional development activities at their own pace and convenience. So yeah, that's all for my point of challenge.
Yes, I definitely agree with your point in regards to teachers having a lot of workloads, and that is definitely becomes an obstacle from teachers from joining the professional development programs. Okay, so from our first round, we have understood that the first challenge would be teachers. The first main challenge is principals having issues in instilling commitments and lifelong learning spirit among teachers. And second was the technological issues and funding issues that cause teachers to feel demotivated from using the latest trends and approaches. And also, our third point is teachers become demotivated due to too many workloads, hence stopping them from joining the professional development.
Yes.
So as for me, I particularly agree with your point where teachers indeed has a lot of workloads, and that is making them feeling that the CPD is instead of something that helps them, is becoming a more burdening to them. So
what about you?
Okay, thank you for asking. Yeah, I agree with Miss Wahida's point as well about the workloads of teachers. Where actually there are so many efforts are being made in many educational system to address these challenges regarding about the workload. But however, those efforts are not meeting the requirement. So that's why these challenges are still happening in the education system. So hopefully, by putting so much efforts, we can reduce the workload on the teachers to ensure that they can provide a quality education while maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
Indeed. Okay, so let's move on to our second round. So for the second round, we'll be discussing on the issue on curriculum implementations and how does it affect teachers' professionalism. So first, as for me, I believe that one of the issues regarding the curriculum implementation is in regards to special needs students. Special needs students refers to students who have learning difficulties or disabilities, especially those who are that make it harder for them to learn compared to the mainstream students. And these children, especially those who are studying in the inclusive classroom where they learn together with the mainstream students, and it makes it very difficult for them. They will be and are greatly affected by the standardized national curriculum. And teacher may have also have extra difficulties to cater to the needs of these children, considering that they are very likely to need extra help and assistance compared to other peers. And usually harder for them to achieve the learning objectives compared to other peers. And so uh, additionally, Malaysia has a larger classroom, for example, 30 to 40 students in class. And this is making it even more hard for teachers to focus on the special needs students. So this scenario will also make it them more, especially for those who requires extra assistance. So according to Ferguson 2014, the interview found that it's either, if the teacher focuses on either one, it's either the special needs child is going to lose out or the rest of the class will. Therefore, to resolve this issue, I believe that there is a grave need for teachers to, inclusive school with inclusive program, to increase their professionalism in terms of special needs education, because there are many types of special needs. For example, visual impairment, audio impairment, dyslexia, Down syndrome, and these children all have different needs, and teachers needs to know each of is every ways to cater to them. And therefore, school leaders should send these teachers to the improvement partners and school improvement special coaches, or SISC plus program, to ensure that these teachers receive professional training and coaching by experts to improve their teaching qualities and knows how to cater to the children, to these special needs children in the inclusive classroom. Through this program, mainstream and coaching from those who are experts, like lecturers of special needs or all of the special needs teachers themselves, hence increasing their understanding on how to deal and cater to the special needs learners. So that is my point of view on the issues of in terms of curriculum and how does it affect teachers' professionalism. So let's move on to our second panel, Puan Nurani Syairah. So what kind of issues have you found and how does it affect teacher professionalism? Please.
All right, so thank you to Ms. Aisyah. So regarding about the current issues in implementing curriculum that actually affect the teacher's professionalism, as I mentioned before, we have so many current issues in the technology integration. So I would like to elaborate more about the technology integration issues in implementing the curriculum, which affect the teacher's professionalism development. All right, so there is like one study by Rabah, which is claimed that supportive school leadership are clear ICT vision from the leaders itself at the school, as well as the investments of ICT integration, such as the ICT trainings with the efforts. So during the COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on the education itself through technology integration. and it has influenced teachers' self-efficacy and professionalism in using ICT in several ways. So this actually shows how important training to teachers should be provided. Okay, so therefore ICT is constantly evolving, and there are so many rapid changes in the technology itself. So that's why we can see that teachers need to adapt to new technologies, software, and trends. Due to this, training and ongoing professional development programs plays a crucial role in developing teachers' professionalism in ICT, so that the teachers can stay up to date and with the current issue regarding the ICT. So this includes like workshops, courses, and self-directed learning. As we can see, we have so many programs that provided for the teachers, such as earning certification from Microsoft Innovative Educator (MIE) program, which provides training and resources for Malaysian teachers to effectively use Microsoft products such as Office 365, words and Teams, and much more in their classroom, so that they can demonstrate a teacher's expertise in using ICT themselves. So aside from that, education-focused events such as Malaysia International Education Technology Exhibition, MIETE, and EduTech Asia feature so many training sessions and also workshop as well for the teachers. So training programs often keep teachers to be informed about the latest ICT updates, about the new technologies provided for the teachers to be used in the classroom. So that this actually help those teachers to stay updated and relevant in the current field, which is in education. For instance, during the pandemic, we can see that many teachers try to find online courses and training so that they can maintain their effective teaching methods and sources to make their classroom more engaging throughout the pandemic. So the pandemic actually forced a rapid shift to online and blended learning, compelling teachers to quickly adapt to new digital tools and platforms that they may not use so frequently before the pandemic. So this accelerated adoption enhanced their ICT skills and confidence. So this commitment to professional development has elevated their expertise and professionalism in technology for teaching. So the COVID-19 pandemic, while challenging, it is actually pushed teachers to adapt and to grow in their ICT usage and also skills, which is claimed by a study, Vinegar 2023. So by doing so, it fosters continuous professional development, education technologies, and also strategies. Teachers who effectively try to find alternative ways and try to develop more their ICT literacy, digital literacy, actually requires them to have problem-solving skills. So by having problem-solving skills, which is actually important among the teachers, we can see that those teachers effectively address these challenges by maintaining high levels of student engagement and motivation, even without extensive technology exhibition, and exhibit the high level of professionalism among the teachers themselves. So this training, however, this training program should be tailored to their needs and also requirements, because one-size-fits-all approaches or training programs may not effectively address challenges that the teachers may face. So it is clear that by adopting effective training, teachers can enhance their professionalism and continue to provide high-quality education. So that's all for my point about the technology integration. Thank you.
All right. Indeed, I agree that technology has played so many of roles in our life, and it benefits the education world. So let's move on to our third panel, Ms. Aini Wahida. So what are your thoughts on the issues in curriculum implementation, and how does it affect?
Thank you, Ms. Aisyah. I really. So for my issue, I think the which is a multiracial country, is used to promote harmony among people of different races. We consist of. It's a crucial and powerful tool for fostering ethnic unity and among Malaysia's diverse population of students. So the issue of unity emerges based on Malaysia's homogeneous schooling system. Okay, so the parents from each race have a high tendency to send their children to race-based schools, causing limited exposure of diversity, like I mentioned earlier. So for example, a child who transfers from a SKJC, SJKC, to an independent Chinese secondary school, or that moves from SK to a national religious secondary school, or SMKA. So this matter results in the lack of unity among students, which hinders society's togetherness in the future. Okay, so hence the development of the standardized national curriculum. For example, we have a very clear example of the school-based English language curriculum, the common one that we often list here, which is SBELC, which is a mandatory for all primary and secondary schools across Malaysia. Okay, so the point is standardized. Okay, so with a standardized curriculum, Malaysian students, despite races, will be taught with a similar content and values, hence developing a shared set of experiences and aspirations to inculcate a sense of unity and togetherness since the school age. Okay, so to better integrate the element of unity and acceptance towards diversity in our curriculum, it is very much necessary for teachers to be sent to diversity training, okay, in order to increase their professional development, for sure, to effectively teach and foster acceptance of diversity in their classrooms, okay. So they need to be equipped with the knowledge and skills to navigate discussions about Malaysia's diverse history and cultures in a sensitive and inclusive manner. To ensure like smooth integration of knowledge exposure, they must take into account the sensitivity and what not to share. Okay, so Uslim, in his study of analysis of ethnic unity in the school level education system in Malaysia, 2022, states that it can be inferred that the formation of the next generation, our next generation, who can be tolerant between one ethnicity and another is the main thing, born of the philosophy of our education connected to inter-ethnic interactions. Okay, so hence the need for teachers to have the skills to inculcate the value of unity among students. So that's basically my point for unity.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, I agree that our nations have a lot of ethnics and cultures. Hence, there is a need of towards a shared experience through the national curriculum. All right. Okay, so today for the round two, we have the three main points, which the first issue is the special needs educations, special needs students, and second one is in regards to technology, and the third one is in regards to unity. So for me, I particularly is interested with Ms. Puan Syairah's point, in which yes, technology is indeed has become like one of the main tools that to improve our education world, in especially after the post-pandemic, in which people are moving towards using the online and digitalized learning platform, hence improving the students' attention spans and quality of learning. So how about you, Ms. Wahida?
Well, that's a very nice thought that you have on Syairah's point. And very interesting that I am on the same page as you. I agree with Syairah's point. I think we all share prominent issues, but then again, technology integration is the prominent one, I think, because in this digital age of education, which teachers should really place more emphasis on the knowledge and skills acquisition pertaining to digital literacy. Yeah.
All right. So I think we have reached the end of our session. So it was indeed a very interesting discussion with all of you. So I would like to thank you for coming today. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So hope you enjoy our discussion. Thank you.